Hello and welcome viewers to the eSeniors GT3 Championship Constructors or Teams race. Well, this track certainly doesn't let everybody down, and we had a warm-up race yesterday and an understatement was chaos. I'm not even going to say organised chaos, because there was cars hitting barriers, there was cars hitting other cars, and I was hoping Kyle Army we all got out of our system, to be honest. But no, I think we're going to see not as many cars on track, to be fair, but I still think we're going to see incidents. The walled section of the mountain is an absolute nightmare, really, even for the best drivers, and I think it's really going to catch some people out. Let's have a quick look at the table, and I'll do some explanations as to why we're down on numbers this week, just so you can understand what's going on. So you can see there, Team GB absolutely annihilating things. Then we've got PWS Esports, PWS Clean Equipment, Precious Washers.co.uk. Grateful for them sponsoring ACC TV and supporting the eSeniors, allowing us to continue bringing the service we deliver now and into the future, locally and around the world. We then have Team Burning Moose, Lars and Andreas in the McLaren, and then Rhythm Tech, which is just being driven by Neil Bywater today. I don't believe Jeremy's going to be racing today. He's still not got himself 100%. He is hoping to be back at some point. I'm not too sure whether he's going to be racing to the end of the season or not. He just needs to get his strength back a little bit as a result of him being flawed from him not being too well. So I want to wish Jeremy well anyway. I know he's going to be watching this and obviously paying attention. So a big shout out there to Jeremy, and see you back on track soon, my friend. I have been speaking to him as well, so it's not a case of I've not had contact with him. We've also got HDD Racing in the Bentley and Team West Coast, who are going to receive a penalty this week because they've decided to boot the Lamborghini into touch, and have decided to go down the BMW route. So they are the first drivers in the teams to go down the BMW route. And then Team Babalas are no more. Tony's gone on leave, and Mark Stevens, I think, has succumbed to the pressures of incidents. Just feeling like, we get to the end of the season, there's just too many incidents going up, and with Tony not being available, the team would be down anyway. So I don't think we're going to see Team Babalas back on track again. The Bentley Fanatec of Frank and Craig, fourth from bottom. We've got Teams SRCC. We've got Eric being represented of that team, but he's the only person from that team as it stands. And then we've got Team USA, Krista and Harrison's joined us this week. Welcome, Harrison. Obviously, Krista's been putting up a fight by himself for the past few weeks, and I think the Vibush brothers has not been represented for a couple of weeks now, so I think they've also decided to give it a call it a day. So what we'll do is we'll go into qualifying. I'm going to jump on board with Mark Christopher, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a track guide. So he's coming through the tricky mountain section. I'll wait till he gets to the end of his lap. This is a really fantastic section if your car's set up right. Qualifying time, what we're looking at, I think we're going to be looking at a 2:03 for pole. And then a couple, I think we'll look between 2:03 and 2:06, if I'm being honest, from a lap time perspective. That's what I would certainly expect. So while we're going down the Conrod, just a quick hi to Terry. Hi James. Hi Frank. Hi Luke. Luke here for the carnage. Naughty Luke. I was okay till near the end. Yes. Yeah, and Willie's joined us as well, wishing Jeremy to get well. So thanks for that, Willie. Yeah, it was certainly interesting to stream yesterday. And as you probably noticed, the guys on track and those watching, we had a live steward. We're not putting that into place just yet. We're just doing a bit of testing. We're just trying to work out what we need to do. The next Monday race will be live stewarded again in exactly the same manner. So Mark Christopher now is going up the mountain straight. I'll do a bit of a lap. He's just gone round Hell Corner, and he's going to come up to corner 2, which is into Quarry. This is a right-hander. You want to get the car down, cut the corner, then drift wide to the left. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to drift the car wide to the left, get the power down early, accelerate up into the cutting, which is turns 3, 4 and 5. Brake as you come into the corner, brake down, get the corner and the car rotated up into the cutting. and then we get into Griffin's Mount, which is corner 6, and then Reed Park, corner 7, then left-hander, which is Frog Hollow, corner 8, and then corner 9, which is Sulman Park. We then go into the John Hinksman Vista, and that takes us to corner 10, which is McPhillamy Park, and then we come down to Skyline, which becomes the start of the S's, and this is corners 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and corner 17. So very technical section, but you can get a lot of pace down here. The downside is he's hitting something. He's coming into corner 18, which is the dipper, so-called, so he's braking and the car's going down at a rate of knots, and he's now going round Forest Elbow. So his foot will be flat out now down to Conrod. He's looking at getting 170 odd mile per hour out of the Aston, 173, 174, where he'll come into the right-hander, which is corner 20, and it'll take him into the right-hander to the left-hander, which is the chase, corners 21 and 22. He'll brake hard just after the 150, get the car turning in, cut the corner, get the power down, and we'll carry on into corner 22. Again, get the car to the right hand side, brake after the 100, and then that'll take him into Murray's corner, corner 23. Cut the corner, get the power down, and cross the line. And that lap time is representative of a 2:04.17. That's a really good lap. Really good lap. So we have had a couple of 2:04s. Jonathan Wood with a 2:04. Chris Bourne I'm going to jump on board with. So I'll change the view for Chris Bourne to the helicam. He's 7 tenths up with a 24.2. He's now 8 tenths up. So you can see he's doing a lot of performance and speed on the track itself. And I'm just trying to work out where he is. So he's coming up now to the S's, into the tricky section. He's 8 tenths up. Now you can, if you get the corner right here, gain at a tenth of a second, which he has done. He's got 9 tenths up, but he's lost it because he didn't get the power down enough. And again, getting the car into this corner, getting the power down coming out is so important, and getting the car to drift to the right. He's still 8 tenths up. He'll be flat out down the Conrod straight. Again, I'm not too sure how fast the Lexus is top end, but I'd expect it to be very similar times to the Aston and get into that 173, 174 miles per hour. So yeah, he's going to take the corner. He's still 8 tenths up. He's going to put him into 2:03.4s. He's now 9 tenths up. He's got this section nailed. 2:03, back into the 2:08, so he's into the 2:04.4s at the moment. 2:04.3s perhaps. Yeah, he's gained a bit of time here. And he's done a 2:04.392. 2:03.392, and he's being followed by Lars. So they're not far off the lap time I suggested, which was 2:03. Will we see a 2:02? I'm not too sure. We certainly think a 2:03 is what we're looking at. I'm going to be on board with Jonathan Wood. He's currently doing a 2:03.947. He is 8 tenths up in the BMW. So this means Jonathan Wood, as it stands, looks like he would take pole position. What he needs to do is he needs to take another couple of tenths off that, and that'll give him a 2:02. He's 8 tenths up at the moment, and his best is a 2:03.947. So he's 9 tenths up. Can he get the braking point right into there? He's now 1.1. He's 1 second. He's going for a 2:02. He's looking good for it. The first person to break into the 2:02, and that just goes to show the grunt the BMW's got. He's kept the car going, and he's going to do a 2:02.955. So the first person to go in 2:02, and you can see that he's had enough. He's probably think, wow, that's it, I am done. Let's jump back a bit. John Saunders, who we know is a fast guy in the other Lexus, his best is a 2:05, and he's 1.2 seconds up, and he's probably going to be getting a tow off either Krista or Harrison in front of him. I'm not too sure who that is, but it's either Harrison or Krista in front. He's currently 1.3 up. It's going to put him into the 2:04.1, so it's going to move him into 4th place as it stands. So that's going to be 2 of the Team GB cars at the top 4 there. And where's he going to go? There you go. He's gone to 4th place, just outside the 2:03s, but certainly good, quick laps there. So just a quick rundown. Jonathan Wood with a 2:02.9, Chris Bourne with a 2:03.3, Lars Eckling with a 2:03.9, John Saunders with a 2:04 flat, Mark Christopher with a 2:04.4, Mark Rogers with a 2:04.5, Neil Bywater with a 204.7, and then a couple of 205s, then a couple of 207s, 8s and 9s. These guys at the back are probably just getting the feel for the track and might not have practiced on Bathurst. The new tyre model did throw me, actually. I like Bathurst, I know where to go, but I found my braking points all changed. So once I'd learned the new braking points, I was back to normal again. But yeah, it took a little while to get used to that. So I will go on board with Andreas in the McLaren. So Andreas is a 205.4, he's looking for a 204.4 here. That will potentially push him into 5th place. So only be 2 places behind Lars if he can keep this going. So he's on the fast section of the track, the Conrad at the moment. And he's going to put himself through the chase. He's keeping that clock at 1 second. So he's looking good. Looking very good. Good corners out of there, good angles. He's getting the power down. He's looking good for a 204.4. I'm looking at his time. He's definitely going to take 5th if he can keep it. Oh dear, dear, dear. And he goes over the line with a bit of a spin and loses time. Such a shame. He was doing really well there, Andreas. Quickly back to the stream. The chat. Hi Melvin. Hi Manuel. And Luke. Yeah, live studio is awesome to watch. It was. Hi Steve Howells. Okay. Start from the back. If you hit a wall on the hill, transport to pits and repeat for 60 minutes. Hi Peter. Oh, right. Who can we follow? Lars. So Lars has got the bit between his teeth. He's now seen what Jonathan can do, and he's 9/10ths up, and he's coming to the end of the lap. He's going for a 203.9 here. Is he going to get the 202? Oh, he's 203 flat. So he's just outside Jonathan Wood in the BMW. Great lap times, to be fair. I'm going to jump to Neil Bywater, who's in the Team Rhythm Tech. He's 204.6 and he's 8/10, so he's going for a 203.8. That'll put him into 4th place if he can keep it up. He's going to be getting a great tow off the PWS car in front there. Brilliant tow. You can see how much time he's gaining. Now the problem is, if that car's also on a hot lap, that could impede Neil's lap time. And Neil he's 9/10ths. He gained 1/10 there from the tow, and you can see his corners and his braking, but he's lost time there. He's lost 2/10ths and he's gone wide, and that's his lap spoiled. And that's a bit of a shame. That so the PWS car backed out, and I believe probably spoiled Neil's lap there as a result of it. So I'm not too sure who that was. I think it was Mark Rogers actually, who was where's he gone? Yeah, it was Mark Rogers that. So I think Mark Rogers has come into the pits there, and it's probably caused a bit of a problem. I mean, if he was going to pit, he probably should have backed out a lot earlier rather than racing him down the straight. Yes, granted, he got a tow, but it did appear that he seemed to impede him coming out that corner. Again, I can't really say that. I'm just going from what I visually see on the screen. So we've got 6 minutes to go. Pole is currently Jonathan Wood. Both Jonathan and Lars, although both Jonathan and Lars are in the pits, but as we can see, Lars is coming out. He's wanting to go again. I think Lars feels he's either made a tweak to the car, possibly tyre pressures, and he feels he can get another 10th or 2/10ths out of that car on this track. So let's see how it goes. Hi, Mikhail. John Saunders is 4/10ths up. He's looking for a ticket to the 203s here. Going through the ticket section. This is the time in the race when you see the sun. As you're into the top bit, the sun's right in front of you. Those in VR must be really struggling, because you can see it in the game on pancake mode. So the guys in VR must really see it. And there's a spinner. That's one of the Bentleys. Oh, and that spoilt John Saunders' lap. He was doing well. He was 6/10ths up. He's hit the wall, and he will lose all his time as a result of that. Chris Bourne is on a quick lap. Now, hopefully that Bentley's gone, and you can see the Bentley's disappeared. Chris Bourne's coming around the corner. He's managed to avoid the wall, and what would have been good is if John Saunders could give him a tow, because that would give him another 10th or 2/10ths down the straight, but that's not the case. We've seen when Chris and John get in front, it's like a wall. So from that perspective, I don't know what we're going to expect in this race. I mean, Chris is out of position. He was normally on the front row of the grid, but I think we're going to see cars hitting the wall in this race without a shadow of a doubt. So Chris Bourne's made a 10th back up just coming into that corner alone, and 2/10ths. Wow, he's nailed that corner. This is going to put him into the 203.1s. It's not yet going to put him in second, unless he can gain 2/10ths coming around this corner. which we know is not going to happen. But he's gained 1/10. And no, he ended up with 2:03.0. Not enough to pass Lars, but boy are they close. So 4 minutes to go, and Chris is going again. So you can see he's making very small gains coming up the mountain straight there. It'll be interesting to see how he goes on through the middle section. Let's ride along with him. Down into second gear, interesting. Getting the power on early. He's 1/10 down at the moment. Whoa! And that's exactly what I mean about, you know, people going off. I think we're going to see that quite a lot. And he's going to have to get his car. He's got his car in the pits because Lars is now flying. He's 2/10 up. Lars is going for a pole. I did say, did he tweak his tyres? He reckons there's another 2/10 in there. He's already 3/10 up. Yeah, he's kept the power down. Yeah, he's lost 1/10, but he's still going. He's struggling through this mountain bit. He's down 1/10, 2/10. He's fluctuating a little bit, so he's on the cusp of 2/10 as he stands. That's slowly going up now to 3. And he's going up to 4. He just missed that wall. Wow, can he get the power down early here? Just got the power down, but lost 1/10 going through there. Getting this corner is really important. Someone's backed out there to let him go. Again, he's kept the power down, but he's losing time. He's lost all his time through that section. So his 3/10 mean nothing at the moment. He really needs a fast section coming up, and he's already pulling time back here. Get the power down early. Oh, he's losing time again. So I don't think we're going to see Lars at this moment take pole from Jonathan Wood. So lightning lap from Jonathan Wood there. Whew. Take a quick refreshment just to keep me good old tonsils lubricated. It's going to be a long race, this one. 1 hour. So I think we're going to see him go for another lap here. Neil Bywater's 9/10 up. So we'll jump in Neil with Neil because Neil's coming to the end of his lap. He's 9/10 up. He's going for 2:03.7, which will put him in 4th place. So for Team Rhythm Tech, I'm sure Jeremy's supporting him. Hi Terry. That's Terry H. He's 8/10, so he's still going for 2:03s. He's going to get 4th place here. Great lap by Neil Bywater there. Great lap. You can see the sun in his mirror. I tell you, the DLSS in this is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's obviously running smooth on my machine anyway, but this DLSS made so much difference to the game. You know, it's phenomenal. I'm running at 1080p because obviously you get a better stream at 1080p, but I still think the game itself, you can see the sun reflected on the walls as it's coming through here, as it's coming through the trees. It just looks absolutely fantastic. Lars going mad here. He's 1/10 up. He's just lost it. Let's sit with him. He's cut that corner really well. Oh, he's got the car unstable, and that's going to cost him time. You can see the sun coming over the hill now. The road is glowing red with the sun reflections, and he's overcooked it. And there you go. And that is so easy to do on this track. And the downside to that is you can do that, and before you know it, someone's come and hit you because they've been following behind, or it's a blind corner. So it's very, very difficult to appreciate where you are on track. And you might just come round a corner, a la here, and there's a car there. You ain't going to stop because you just don't have the ability to stop quick on this track. You're not going to be able to avoid because the track's too narrow. So unless the car's gone off and is up against the barrier, you're really going to struggle against it. And you know, you're going to have your wits about you. Neil Bywater's going 4/10 quicker again. It won't better him on the position, although he's just lost it. Christopher York's going for a 2:05.1 as it stands, although he's just lost a bit of time there, so he's going for a 2:05.3. Where else? Harrison Nolan, his teammate, is in the 2:08s. I know Harrison's not been racing for a while, so he's probably off the boil a little bit, but I do know he invested in a lot of new equipment. He's probably just getting this last few working, because I think he works on something to do with the sun, and obviously the sun's going to disappear soon. So I presume Harrison's busy doing stuff like that. So Chris is 2/10 down. Behind him on track is Kenneth. Kenneth's going faster. So Kenneth isn't gonna gain position on Andreas, but he's actually gonna you know, better his time. So yeah, very, very small gains there. So Kenneth's 2/10 up. He was 3/10 up. He's actually lost time on the Conrod. He's back to 3/10 again now. 4/10. He needs to get the power down. No, he's eased off there to the wide, and that's lost him 2/10 because he did get to 4/10. And he's losing time hand over fist now. He's got the power down there, but it's just not enough. It's only getting him 1/10, and that was perfectly 1/10. So we're coming to the end. That's the end of qualifying, and just see where the drivers are on track. We've got a number of drivers who are still way out in the mountains, and that's going to delay things a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll wait a minute before we go to the introduction, and then I'll do the usual grid walk. We're just waiting for them cars to come down now. So one's already give up and hit the wall. Car 107. That was Frank Tennant, and car 14. I think it was 14, was it? 14. Oh, it had a 4 in it. Might have been 462 actually. It had a 4 in it, or it looked like it. I could be wrong. But car 38 and 823 are still out, and that's Neil and Krista. It tells me that Mark Rogers is still out in car 77. No, he's not. Right, so go to the intro. Back shortly. Okay, bit of a grid walk as usual. Just a quick hi to Derek. Hi Derek, thanks for joining the stream. If you've not hit like already, please do so. We've got 20 viewers and only 8 likes. Come on guys, it's not that hard. And if you haven't already, get subscribed. So on pole position in the BMW, it was a fantastic lap by Jonathan Wood, who was the only driver to get into the 202s. He's closely followed by Lars Eklund, and I don't know why my camera's off angle or off camber. For some reason, that's what the game's done to me. Might be because the track's at Canberra, I don't know. We're followed then by Chris Bourne in the first of the Team GB cars. And then we've got Neil Bywater, who's had a fantastic qualifying in the Team Rhythm Tech. We've then got the first of the PWS cars of Mark Rogers and the other Team GB car of John Saunders. We've then got the other PWS car of Mark Christopher and the McLaren of Andreas in the Team Burning Moose. We've then got one of the first Bentleys, the DK Bentley, and that is Kenneth Lingham, followed by Krista Hjort in Team USA. We've then got the BMW of Stefan Buckley. Obviously, these guys are taking penalties. And we've got Andy Goddard, who's managed to step in at last minute and represent Team Rhythm Tech. Well done, Andy. Good timing on a lap there. And we've got first of the Fanatec Bentleys of Craig Holmes. And then we've got SRCCT of Eric Langlois. We've then got Harrison Nolan in the Team USA, Aston Martin, and then we've got Frank Tennant in the Bentley, and the car at the back, although that is Jeremy's car, will disappear and disperse to the pits quite quickly. So let's go to Helicam, and let's wait patiently. And sorry for Juan and Jonathan, but I'm going to steal your thunder, guys. You completely cocked this up at the weekend, and I'm going to do it properly. So unfortunately, Juan and Jonathan beat you to it. You'll know what I mean in a minute, stream. Don't you worry. Gentlemen, start your engines. They tried to do it the weekend and completely cocked it up. So beat them to it. And no doubt they'll watch this and go, I can't believe we got it wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the... I'm going to leave the Deltron for the current lap, but I'm going to show the gap. If you feel you want anything else displaying, let me know. So Terry Howard's doing A207. Is that in the Porsche? That's a good lap in the Porsche if that's the case. The front end of the Porsche is too light though. I think that's the problem. It's just not going to get grip into the corner. Yeah, I think that's a quick time, Terry, to be honest. You can see the sun now, 7 o'clock. The sun's just getting up in the air. It'll start to heat that track up. So if people haven't done a run on the track, they're going to be struggling with tyres quite early on, because the track's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter to the point where, you know, you're going to have to struggle to keep the tyres cool. And that's it. It's green. And Lars has made a great start and passed Jonathan. Now, we're not going to see any shenanigans here, are we? So far, so good. Everyone's looking close. And everyone's got through turn 1. Brilliant. What a start. So these guys are going to take it easy. We've already got a couple of drivers. We've got Mark Christopher going on the outside of John Saunders, and there's contact there. So what's happened there? Bit of contact between John Saunders and Christopher, and that's caused, I need to see that, that's one of the unfortunate events of racing, and they've both lost places. So he's got a good run here and he's going on the left hand side, but you've got to realise your tyres are cold. Even, you know, it's early morning, they're going to take wide. So he's left hand side. So far so good. Oh, he's been squeezed there by Mr. Saunders, and he comes back on. Oh, that's got to be a visit to the pits. Wow, that is quite spectacular. He's bounced back on track, but I feel his car is not going to be running the same now. And you can see there John Saunders has gone to the pits. I would expect Mark Christopher, if we can find where he's running, he's really struggling. If we jump on board with Mark Christopher, you can see his steering's completely gone. He ain't going to turn left round many corners, is he? Because he can't turn the wheel anymore. Oh, and you can see it's just going to get worse. It doesn't want to go left, that car. It's completely stuffed, and he probably is best just escape into the pits. Oh dear, 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 that's painful. Is he going to get it going? He's getting it rotating round, but oof. Fair dues to him. He's making it happen. Right, we'll jump on board with Neil. Neil's putting pressure on the other PWS car now of Mark Rogers. So PWS, preciouswashers.co.uk, PWS Clean Equipment, our proud sponsors of ACTTV for the eSeniors, keeping the show on the road for us. And there's been contact. Craig Holmes has gone off track, not contact, sorry. He's spun out and he's now losing places, as you can see. We've got Team SRCC and we've got the other Fanatec Bentley coming round. So it's very easy, and Neil Bywater did manage to pass Mark Rogers there, so he made the pass and he made the pass stick. So 2 cars already in the pits, John Saunders, and from that perspective it did look like John Saunders squeezed Mark Christopher a little bit. You know, Christopher was well alongside there, so you know, the first lap and all that could be an incoming penalty there as a result of it being a first lap incident. Now that is the only incident I'm aware that has happened on lap 1, and Chris Bourne has managed to pass Jonathan Wood. So I don't know again whether Jonathan Wood's got the tyres right or he's done some setup, but you can see there Chris Bourne's off. He's like you know, a rabbit in the sunset. He's just absolutely leaping away now, and I think we're going to see him catch Lars up. Actually, only 2 seconds behind. You can see Lars scampering away into the distance. Peter, the pole time was a 2:02.9, and that was Jonathan in the BMW, so a very respectable lap time, I think. Hi Maverick. Hi Joanne. 2:02.9, Frank, yes, absolutely spot on, I remember that. No, there are no small incidents, Terry. It's either an incident or it's chaos. So Craig is now putting pressure on his teammate Frank. So do you really want to race your teammate when the potential is you could take them both out? I'm probably not sure about that. Really, you want to work with your teammate. So what he's looking for is a great toe down the straight so he can pass Eric. Eric at the moment in the Ferrari looking really good. He's just keeping himself out of trouble. And you know what? On this track, you don't have to drive quick. You just have to stay out of trouble. Hi Nikos. We're saying hi from the beautiful Australian mountains. Yeah, you can see there Craig's going to go. Is he going to go for it? He's got a great toe. He doesn't really want to pass them. We're already into the 2:04 flats on the laps. And that's Chris Bourne. So Chris Bourne. Whoa! And Craig's gone. That was Frank who's gone off. So Frank completely missed the braking point and misjudged. Where I think he's missed the board. I think instead of the 100 board, he's hit the 50 board instead. And that's took him way off track. So I think that's what's happened there. Right, so, well, Chris Bourne is definitely catching Lars. He's gone from 2 seconds down to 1 second, so this is going to get tasty by the end of this lap, I reckon, especially on the Conrod Straight, where it looks like the Lexus is good. I do believe the McLaren's quite quick as well. So what I might do is I might jump on the McLaren, just see what speed it's getting up to at the top end, just to give us an idea. So what I will do, I'll jump on board with Lars at the moment, and I will put the basic HUD up so we can see the speed on the right hand side. Okay, so this will allow us to see exactly how fast he's getting on the straight. It also means that obviously I've got the map has gone to the left hand side, which you can't see at the moment, but don't worry about that, I'll switch it back in a minute. I'm just really interested on the lap times here. So he's currently 2:05.1, so he's 1 second off the fastest lap of Chris Bourne, or he is quicker than where he is, and Chris Bourne's half a second down of his previous lap, so he's not gaining as quick as he could have done. But let's see the speed. So 157, 159, 165, 170, 172. Now, interestingly, the Aston's doing a little bit more than that. So maybe he got a bad run out the corner, but you can see he's doing a really good lap time here now. So this is going to put him into the 2:04s, and this is going to be competitive with Chris's time actually. 1.1. Yeah, 2:04 flat, and Chris was a 2:04.7 that time. And when I mean 2:04 flat, I mean 2:04.000. Unbelievable. So back to Craig. So Craig's now putting pressure back on Team SRCC. That car's bouncing all over the place. He's going for the dive up the inside. A lot of respect there from Eric letting him do that. Eric knew it's not worth fighting because we know Craig is a quick driver, and therefore Craig's going to put his foot down now, and he's going to go up the road and look for Harrison. So Harrison's is 8.6 seconds up the road. I think 3 laps time Craig will be with Harrison. So let's keep an eye on that gap and let's see where we're going. So I'm going to go back to Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne is gaining again now. He's running a faster lap than Lars, so he's 2/10 up at the moment, and obviously you can see the split yourself now. You don't need me to tell you, but you can see he's gaining ever so slightly on Lars. The fact that Lars is now into the red implies that he's gaining in more ways than one. So where's this going to leave us? Where's this going to leave the race? And Craig's already took 1 second out of Harrison. So as I reckon 3 laps he's going to be right on his booty, and he's going to be trying to close down Harrison and pass Harrison. Krista's got white flag. I'm not too sure why, because he's actually not running any slow, as has Andreas. So maybe they've just outbraked themselves in a section, and it's recording them as going slower than normal. So when you get the white flag, it's when you get in the game slow car in front. In effect, that's what it means. And sometimes it just means someone's broke extra early. Okay, so Nikos says Bathurst can considered a mountain only in the Netherlands. That's why it's called Mount Panorama. Might be clue in the name, Nikos. Mount. Now you've got Mount Sinai as well. That's a mountain, isn't it? So I think it's just a name, to be honest. It's a hill. It's that film, isn't it? The man who walked up a hill and came down a mountain. It's that sort of thing. So Chris Bourne's now closing in. Definitely, he's gone from 1.5 to 1.3. The lap times are still very, very similar. As in 2:04.2 and 2:04 flat. It is Nikos, to be fair. It's more like a hill. And consequently, you know, you'd never get a car up a mountain, certainly on a road like this. So yeah, a hill feels quite I will say though, when you're at the top of it, I bet it feels high, because that's quite an altitude, isn't it? And that also probably plays a part on performance, the higher you get. I don't know how high above sea level it is, to be honest. Or certainly not low. Yeah, he's lost a bit of time there as Chris. So we're going to jump back now to Mark Rogers. Mark Rogers putting pressure on Neil Bywater. So we saw Neil Bywater passing before. I think Mark Rogers got his car dialed in a little bit now. And you can see John Saunders and Mark Christopher both back on track, but John Saunders is a further lap down. I think John Saunders' car was destroyed. It's probably a word to use. Mark Christopher's car, we saw the steering was completely gone. Yeah, Terry, that's it. It's a big hill. It's Goddard, Nikos. Andy Goddard has replaced him. Terry, the turbo would have more power, but as they're all naturally aspirated engines, I don't think the turbo's going to work. I think they're all naturally aspirated anyway. They're all V6s, V8s, aren't they? Unless you have the Aston Martin V12, which is a V12. So someone come and correct me, are they all naturally aspirated? Or are they all turbocharged? I was led to believe they're not turbocharged. Well, I'm sure someone else will correct me otherwise. People are quite busily now typing away, looking at the car specs of the cars in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Because if there's no turbo, the A ain't going to matter. The Aston and Bentley have got turbos, right. So the two cars with them, I was going to say the Mercedes has got the most powerful engine, hasn't it? And I know the Mercedes is naturally aspirated. I think the McLaren's got a lot of power as well, and that's also naturally aspirated. That surprised me they've got turbos actually. And the Merc's turbo, I didn't think the Merc was. I thought that was naturally aspirated. I mean, the grunt that thing's got, it doesn't need a turbo. So have you been Googling them, Terry, or did you know that? Just want to make sure, you know, I'm talking to a Googleite or I'm talking to an expert there. I wasn't sure. Oh, the Aston uses the Merc engine. Oh, right. So I'm going to jump back because Andy Goddard is now catching Krista Tjort. Oh, you knew. Fair comment. I mean, you drive the Bentley, I drive the Aston, but to be honest, I don't really care what's under the bonnet. I just drive it. Although, talking of the Aston Martin, has anybody seen the Aston Martin Victor? If you haven't, look it up. What a machine. £4 million sterling. They've only ever made one. And it's a hybrid car. I don't mean hybrid in power, but hybrid car based on all the evolutions of the Aston Martin from day 1-0. That Bentley's got a flappy bonnet, it's not closed properly. So yeah, the Aston did used to be V12 because you could actually race that in the GT3 still. It's just an older car. So yeah, look up the Aston Martin Victor and you'll see all sorts of different cars in there. The Vantage, the Vanquish, the Lagonda. It's got the racing car in there, and it's got the most recent one as well. It's based on the platform of the most recent race car. So yeah, it's a bit of a beast, it's fair to say. I'm going to jump forward, Neil Bywater. I think we're going to see Andy Goddard make a pass here because that Bentley's looking injured of Kenneth. His bonnet looked like it was flapping. Yeah, he's made the pass. You can see he's got a lot more traction there. So we're going to jump forward to Neil Bywater. Neil Bywater's getting closer and closer and closer now to Mark Rogers. The Valkyrie, Terry, that's it. So it's got the racing plate of the Valkyrie at the bottom of it. It's got the steering wheel of the Valkyrie, but it's got all different parts from all the different cars, and the way they put it together is astonishing. The power out of it is unbelievable. You don't know how fast it's gone because they've not been able to test it, but needless to say, it's a V12. God knows how much horsepower, and it goes like stink. You would never get around Bathurst, it goes straight off through a wall. But the point is, it's a one-off. I think it was a concept. They only made one, and it sold immediately. So that's probably just going to go up and up and up in value. So Chris Bourne, very close to Lars. So he's caught him on the conrod, and Andy Goddard is... I thought Andy Goddard had passed Kenneth. Kenneth's passed him again. He must have had a problem, Andy Goddard, because he cleanly passed him. Craig Holmes is now 3.8 seconds behind Harrison, so it wasn't quite 3 laps. Hi Danny. No, you're right, people gaining as much as they can. I mean, in some respects, it would be nice if the game held you in that position if your engine was running in the right gear, and then when the lights go out, you know, it relinquishes control to yourself, because it would be then, you know, pretty fair on everyone to go. But there was a bit of an incident on that one. I don't know if you saw it, Danny. Going up the mountain straight, 2 cars come together, ended up resulting in both cars pitting. They are the 2 cars at the back of the grid now, so they're really struggling a little bit. Obviously, they don't want that happening in the group races. They probably didn't want it happening in the teams races, to be fair. But one was one of the guys from the Team GB, and one was one of the guys from the Team PWS. It looked like the Team GB car come across on the PWS, pushed him onto the grass, got his back wheel slippy. He come back across the track and hit him, and then they both spun out, but quite miraculously the way spun out, bouncing off the walls, bouncing off cars, and I think a couple of cars got caught up in it. Kenneth's car at the front is damaged, so I guess Kenneth was involved in that, because I've not seen Kenneth get involved in anything else as it stands. Well, let's see what it looks like from the rear of Lars. So is he gaining on him? Not too sure. He's 1 second behind. He has had a slow lap this lap, Chris Bourne. He's nearly had a second down. He's braking well, but I mean he's only braking to the same as what the McLaren's doing. And Stefan Buckley's gone off. He went yellow there, so I presume he just went a little bit wide. You can see he's not going at full tilt through there at the moment. I know what you're saying, Terry, but ultimately, you know, you've got to have your wits about you on a start. It's a straight, cars are going to get alongside. Andreas is off, and I can't see, and Andreas has pitted. He's obviously had a big impact with the wall there. Let's have a quick replay of that and just see what Andreas has done. I'll put us on board with him just to see what goes on. So he's in the mountain section. Whoa, that's a big impact. That car's not going to be healthy. And no, I think he's realised his car's not going anywhere. He's turning, his steering's gone, so he decided to call it a day and go into the pits to get repaired, which is probably the sensible thing, as you can see all the cars passing him there. So yeah, that looks to me like Andreas is struggling. Wow, and we are under the world. There we go. Let's go back to Chris Bourne. The game does that if you've been on replay, because it remembers where you were on the mountain when you first went to the replay. It puts the camera in the same position, but originally down further, so you end up under the world. Quite exciting, actually. And see, Chris is just on and off the throttle through here. He's not overly aggressive. He's just tapping the throttle on the bits where he thinks he can get away with it, rather than keeping it planted. Yeah, oh, Lars was close to that wall there. How close was Lars? Just Chris hasn't got a good enough run to pass him here. He's definitely gaining on Lars. Lars has hit that wall. He's definitely gained a lot here. So Chris will take a lot of solace out of that. Not good enough to pass yet, but still, that means Lars is pushing, and he's pushing hard. If Chris can keep the pressure up, is Lars going to make a mistake? Just twitching there just to show he's there. Getting his braking point into the corner. He'll get the power down early. He's getting closer and closer. Now he could get him on the straight. Let's see if this is going to happen. And he's going to make a move on the straight. He's set the power down with a bit of a twitch there. Kept it under control. Look at that. Both going for it. Oh, just backed out at the last minute there. Still, as you can see, these guys respect each other and respect the track. And this could cause a problem further down. We've got a Team SRCC car and these two guys climbing. Now, I think the car's just got going. But they are catching. This is going to be interesting. Now, he's got himself going again there. But they are now going to catch a back marker. And the back marker's still going off. This could be an absolute nightmare for these two guys. Slow car ahead. Slow car ahead. Because you're going to have to wait and sit behind the slow car. Is he going to get into... He's just going to get into the Big Dipper before, isn't he? He's going very slow, though. And here they come. And there he is coming down. They're hopefully going to get him on the straight. It does mean that Lars has potential. They've managed to pass him. So he's seen that coming and got himself set up there. That was good driving from Eric there. And hopefully his car's not damaged too bad. Yeah, he's got a problem, Eric, hasn't he? If we jump on board, is his steering gone? Whoa, he's just decided he wants to hit all the signs. And his steering's really gone. So, oh dear, that's quit. I mean, he's lucky he's not hit another car there. He's trying to... Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is... Whew, that was dangerous to say the least, coming back on track. I mean, if you hit at that speed, you're off. Let's face it. Now, is there any cars catching him? No, he's all right at the moment. So, anyway, back to Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne's carrying on. So, yeah, Eric's car's looking rather worse for wear. Chris Bourne went for the pass before, but bocked out because, obviously, he's got respect. As got Lars. Now, Lars has gone defensive here. He knows Chris is faster. I'm wondering whether Lars has got damage. Now, there's been an incident over the hill. Both these guys are going slow. Man, you're saying Kenneth's going slow. Kenneth's been off. You can see his windscreen is looking rather grazed. He's hit something, hasn't he? Quite significant. Krista's putting pressure on Andy Goddard now. So Andy Goddard, who's representing Jeremy at the moment, is under the cosh a little bit. I'm going to jump back forward to Chris Bourne. Because Chris Bourne's coming through the mountain section and he could end up with a good run on Lars here. If Lars hits that wall again on the way out of the Big Dipper, he could be in trouble. It could cause him a major, major problem. But he's keeping it together. Chris is gaining at a rate of knots here. But Lars has got the power down coming through the bottom part of the S's as they now approach the Big Dipper. Both braking handy. Chris is braking really late. Did Lars hit the inside wall there? So is he going to get... He'll get a good run this time, Chris. But Lars can park it on the right-hand side and Chris won't stand a chance. Can pull it round the right. Lars is leaving it. Is he going for it? And he's made the pass. Not made yet, but he knows he's got the angle and he can make the pass now. So it's all about braking. Great pass. Great clean racing from these two guys. You know, and that's why where they are in this game. You know, the guys are aliens. Total respect with each other on the track. Total respect for the track. And, you know, being alert of what the other driver's doing. No hesitancy there from Lars. Lars knew he was beaten. He knew he couldn't defend. If he'd have gone one way, then can't go the other way. And then that compromises him going into the corner. So Lars knew what he was doing there. He also knew he was beaten. So fair respect there. I'm going to go back to Krista. So Krista's now getting a good run on Andy Goddard. Now it looks like Krista's bonnet's slightly open. Or I don't know if it's just the paint. But Goddard, yeah, his bonnet is slightly open, isn't it? So he's obviously got damage there as well. So Krista's obviously been involved in something. Whether he's hit a wall. Oh, he's gone for the upside. Oh, dear. Now, if we're having live stewarding, that was a dive. And that would probably be a 5-second penalty. As a result of that incident. Because that was preventable. It looked like he broke late. He knew it. And he'd already started the inside move. And he weren't going to be able to correct it. But what it has done, it's allowed our good friend Stefan to start catching. Now, if there's a problem with Krista's car, Stefan, I think, is going to catch him here and pass him. I don't know if there's any damage to Krista's car. as a result of that impact. It wasn't major, but it could just be enough. Kenneth's gone into the pits. His car damage is obviously too much, and that's allowing a couple of cars to move forward. Look at the braking difference there. The BMW is braking so much better, and as you can see here, Stefan is putting massive pressure. Craig Holmes has now passed Harrison. I did think that was going to happen, so he made the pass on Harrison, and I'm just going to go back forward to where we were a second ago, which was this one, which is the BMW being pressured, putting pressure on Krista in the Aston Martin. Love that bit where the sparks come off the bottom of the car's under tray. Obviously it's all to do with ride height, and most people are using the lowest ride height they can get away with. But as you come down that dip, the sparks fly out the bottom of the car. It looks spectacular at night. Depends, Melvin. In that instance, the drivers got away with it, and the impact of both drivers wasn't anything severe. If that's a dive, and when I mean a dive, you get completely obliterated, that's where you'll get a penalty of severity, as in a drive-through or a stop and go. Both drivers really survived that contact there, and that's what we've got to consider. Oh, and there's Krista. Krista's realised his car's damaged as a result of making that contact, so he's decided to pit. That's now gives Stefan Buckley a free rein. He's 5 seconds behind Andy Goddard. Is he going to catch him? I don't know. So Eric Langlois now coming out the pits. He's getting himself going. Oh, he's at the top mark, but he's letting all the back markers past. So all the cars are making him a back marker, so he's letting them all past, shall we say. I'm not too sure who that was flying in the distance there. I think that was Neil Bywater. So a bit of a rundown. In fact, Stefan Buckley has catched Andy Goddard. Andy Goddard's might have had a problem. He's lost 5 seconds there. I don't know what's happened to Jaime, but he's really lost a lot of time. And Stefan is now looking for 6th place. Again, you can see the different angles. Goddard's very wide into that corner. Stefan definitely took the better approach into that corner there. Looked like he's missed his braking point. He's had to recover it coming round the outside. I don't know where this is going to turn out, but my money is on the straight. That BMW is going to walk past the Aston Martin. That said, the Aston Martin on the straight with the right setup is damn quick. Yeah, the BMW looks planted, doesn't it? I know both cars are moving around, but they're coming up to a back marker now. I think that back marker is Kenneth. So if Kenneth isn't going quick enough, he's going to have to relinquish pressure and can't really get in the way. And it's right on the straight as well. So what's going to happen on the straight? Let's jump on board and see what happens. So Kenneth's way down the front. But are they going to catch him? I think that's Kenneth. I can't really tell without jumping between. In fact, Kenneth's the only car out here, isn't he? Because Kai's not racing today, is he? Kai's not racing today. Yeah, he's gaining, but he's not making much of an impact. Andreas Pettersson's in the pits. So Andreas has had a bit of a nightmare. I think he's been off again, and that's forced him into the pits. Now, this could simply be tyres. You see Goddard's gone deep there. This is Stefan's opportunity. Be reluctant to dive up the inside. He's never really going to make it stick from this distance. But he is making it stick. Andy Goddard's given that. I think Andy Goddard knew what was coming there, and he went for it. So Stefan is now looking good. He's in 6th place. Now he's 40 odd seconds behind Neil Bywater, so unless Neil has a disaster, he just needs to consolidate that position now and keep Andy Goddard at bay. Let's have a look at the chat. I'm not too sure whether it was... I don't think it was Hjort. I think it was Kenneth, because Kenneth got into the pits, hadn't he, and come back out. And we saw Kenneth coming over the tops there. Yeah. Hi, Dimitri. Yeah, you can see now. In fact, Goddard has gone off. He's made a mistake and it's cost him a number of seconds. Stefan's gone wide, but he's just kept it on track. He did go off track, so I don't know where he's cut the corner a little bit there. But it did show him as leaving the track. So obviously I can see that from here. Chris Bourne is now, and Frank Tennant's off. Now he's gone off on the mountain straight. That's a very odd place. Now, is that because the back markers are coming? It probably is, because the back markers were flying, and rather than get involved, he just thought, you know what, I ain't going to bother with this one. I'm going to sit this one out. So let's do a quick rundown. We've got 30 minutes of the race to go. So Chris Bourne is 3.5 seconds out in front. He qualified second behind Jonathan Wood, and he managed to pass both drivers. The harder one was Lars. It took him a number of laps to pass Lars. Lars did go wide, and we think hit the wall ever so slightly. And from that point, Chris always seemed to be the quicker car. Lars is 9 seconds ahead of Jonathan Wood. So Lars is now, obviously, I think Lars is settling for second place for Team Burning Moose. Andy Goddard's gone off and is now in the pits. So he's obviously got a problem with his car, and he's decided he needs to pit. So Jonathan Wood is 10 seconds behind Lars Eklund, but he's having a good run in that car. And he's 4.5 seconds in front of Mark Rogers. Mark Rogers is 1.8 seconds in front of Neil Bywater. Neil Bywater was catching Mark at some point, but that seems to ease off a little bit. Neil Bywater is 52 seconds in front of Stefan and is pulling away. So I do think that's going to finish over a minute in front. But you know, they are two different drivers. You've got a Group 3 driver and you've got a Group 1 driver. So you do expect a difference in there. Stefan Buckley is 19 seconds ahead of Craig Holmes. So Stefan might be Group 3, but he's ahead of Craig Holmes, who, as we know, is a fast guy. And John Saunders has tanked it. Let's see what's happened there with John Saunders. So he's tanked it into the wall. Let's sit on board with him. He's coming around the corner. No problem there. He's got the power down nicely. And as we know, he's already been in the pits once. And he's still on a yellow flag. Oh, that was close. Yeah, he's tanked it into that wall. Now, that wasn't severe. The question is, this car... Oh, that's another car. That was a Team GB car. I thought that was a Team GB car. It must have been a... Oof. I thought he took his partner out then, but luckily he hadn't. I saw a Team GB car in his mirror. Well, Krista's up and run again now. He's managed to pass Jaime, who's now in the pits. So Jaime must have got damage. Neil Bywater is now on a mission and is catching Mark Rogers again. So Nikos, this is one of the things we've still got to learn with the live stewarding. We've got to work out what suitable penalties is. So when the penalties were issued yesterday as a trial, I was speaking to the steward afterwards, and we were talking about what we think was missed. And John Saunders has got another problem. He's gone off again. He's having an absolute nightmare, is John Saunders. So he's got no power, as you can see there, but he's really, really struggling. So what we've got to try and work out is what is a fair representation. Because if you think of something like Spa, and I think Andy Goddard said this, if you get a drive-through at Spa, it's like driving away for the weekend. It just takes you so long. So at Spa, a 30-second time penalty makes more sense. And we can apply time penalties at 30 seconds. They don't have to be stop and goes. So, you know, the punishment will match the crime. Now, what we think, and there's been a change. Chris has gone into the pits. So maybe there was contact and Chris did hit his partner. I thought I saw another car go past and you saw the back end of Saunders' car flicker. So I think Chris Bourne has had a problem there and has ended up making contact with his partner John Saunders. So that's a disaster. So that's put Lars back in front and Jonathan in second place. What a change around. So from that position, Nikos, we do think the crime the punishment will match the crime, and we make it as fair as possible. What we think is going to happen, which is what I was saying, is that if we do go down this route in the new season, what we think will happen is in the first few races we're going to see carnage. It's fair to say that's what we expect. Harrison's gone off. He's getting his car around, and Christopher's gone off. There's been contact actually. Let's have a look at what's happened with Christopher. So Christopher was involved and had contact with somebody. I'm not too sure who. I am seeing Nolan and I'm seeing Christopher. Andy Goddard's gone off track again. So I'm not too sure. It's showing Christopher's hitting someone. Now, is this because Harrison's gone out of control? Yes. So Christopher's... This is what I was saying about if a car stops in front of you, you've nowhere to go. So Christopher definitely not guilty of that one. And Harrison has also hit the wall again. So Harrison's now really paying the price. I don't know if he's been practicing, but he's really going slow. You can see his bonnet's bouncing. I think we're going to see Harrison fall into the pits. There you go. Harrison's calling it a day in the pits, and he's probably going to get his car repaired. So what will happen is we'll do more practicing and understand what penalties we need to issue, and the penalties may differ on the track. So if you've got a short pit lane, you may get a drive through. You know, it's all about the punishment and the crime really. But what I said is we'll find that the first two races will be carnage, but as the penalties start kicking in, I do believe drivers will start taking a little bit easier. They'll be looking at, well, hold on a minute, you know, I want to know what's going on in relation to this penalty. I don't want to risk that dive because I'm going to get a penalty. Applying a penalty after the race when half the drivers don't put them through anyway as incidents is making the ones that do put it through, you know, look a bit out of place and a bit odd. I think it's right. I spent hours this week doing the Group 3 incidents. It took me that long. And the sad thing is there was only really 2 drivers who logged the incidents, but they were there and there was plenty of them. Now, as I said, a couple of drivers will probably make mistakes, and then that next lap, at the next time they'll go, well, hold on a minute, I can't do the dive. Bearing in mind, we're thinking of introducing a licensing system as well, which means that if you have too many incidents consistently, you will lose points on your license. 0 points on your license means you cannot race the next race. I think that's going to have an impact, and I really do think that a number of different things in the next season will make us drive much better. And the thing is, if you're a serial problem, this system will find you out and it will call you out without anybody having to log incidents as such. It will find you out, and you know, you'll get caught out as a result of it. Then it's your choice to improve what you're doing. It's as simple as that. So Nikos, the live steward, isn't given the penalties straight away. They are reviewed before the penalties are given. So it's not like they're being given immediately. Some of the penalties could be given 2 or 3, 4 laps afterwards once they've been investigated. So we're not taking it lightly. So Melvin, spot on. It would make you think twice to bump past at Spa. Yeah, because 30 seconds is a long time. You know, and if you had a stop and go through Spa, well, as I say, that's your weekend gone. Yeah, there is 22 minutes left to go, Terry. You're correct. Yeah, a few got drive-through yesterday's, Willie, and I think they probably paid the price, if I'm being brutally honest. There's no such thing as in-game penalties. It doesn't have them, so you can't really get that. The game itself doesn't provide a penalty system. It expects you to do the penalties for yourself, really. So we can't really say on that one. What else are you saying in the chat? I have to be careful it does not get too complex. No, Terry, this is one of the things we've got to make sure. And if we're going to have live stewards, we reckon there's going to be at least 3 stewards. They're going to be sat in a booth together. They're going to look at their incidents. They're going to manage the incidents. And what they will do is they will apply the penalty. They will then inform the person doing the stream, probably me, of what penalty has been issued. So what that will do is the drivers will be told, Now, we don't know whether we're going to do that via headsets or not yet. We don't know how that's going to work. But the guys like yourselves watching the stream, you'll be told, for example, Christopher Hjort has been given a 5-second penalty for gaining an advantage off track, that sort of thing. So you will know why that penalty's been given. And for a drive-through, you know a drive-through's been given, and you'll know the reason why the drive-through's been given. So we're trying to make it as communicable as possible. I take your point, Willie. The other problem we've got, though, with that is not all drivers. For a start, you've got drivers the likes of Krista, David Gerrard, who do their own streams. We can't really stop them doing that. And what that means is, you know, from their perspective, and Andy Goddard's gone off again. He's having a right nightmare now in that Aston Martin. I presume he just can't get his tyres right. I don't know if he's done any preparation or setup, because he's usually racing in the Ferrari. And he's probably struggling with the tyres on that car. I'm going to jump to Neil Bywater, who's gaining on Mark Rogers again. So I think, yeah, we need to work out how we're going to do it with the mics. Now, what would be the best thing is all drivers are in the same channel now. Maybe the guys who stream can have a different connection on their Discord. But we just need to think about it. But we want it to improve. We want the level of man-made incidents on other cars reducing to nil. I know it's impossible to do that because you still get it in all sorts of racing, but we want them to be genuine accidents. There's a lot of incidents at the moment that, and oh, Bywater got his wheels off and the front of that car is wrecked. That could be Neil heading to the pits. Let's just jump on board. There's no one. Yeah, that's Neil's car wrecked. Oh, what a shame. He was gaining at a rate of knots. So that means Chris Bourne, even though he's pitted, is now in a good place again. I don't think he's going to catch Mark Rogers, but watch this space. And what it also means is Stefan is up into 5th place. So keep yourself out of trouble, keep it clean, and before you know it, you're up the table. So Owen says there, a drive for at Spa ruins your weekend. Melvin, that is absolutely the attitude. Simple. Don't get one then. There's a few things we've been looking at, Melvin. Mumbo's one of them. Mumble, I think it's called, actually, not Mumbo, innit? Mumble, not Mumbo. Unless you use one called Mumbo. And Terry doesn't use headphones, so these are the problems we've got. And you know, there may be actually reasons why people can't wear headphones. So for example, if you've got hearing aids, stuff like that, you don't want to wear headphones. So we've got to be careful how we do it. You know, some of it has got to be voluntary. And if they're going to wear headphones, that's fine. But if they're not going to wear headphones, what we need to do is we need to make sure that when the penalties are issued, the driver's informed. Now, they will be informed on screen. But again, not all drivers know what's on the screen. The chat's the wrong way to do it, for the simple reason being not everyone has the chat window open, so we've got to rule that out. And as Melvin says, for the likes of chat, you can't really see the chat window within your VR environment without moving your head. On a track like this, move your head and you're in the wall. Kenneth's gone off. He's decided he wants to build some sandcastles. He's having a bit of fun there. And that's the very first corner. It's called Hell's Corner. And it caused him hell. And that means that's Stefan passing, but Stefan is already ahead of Neil, because there's actually only 5 drivers on the same lap, and Stefan is the last one. Craig Holmes is now on the same lap as them, actually. There's not much going on at the moment. Chris Bourne isn't really gaining on Mark Rogers, but I wouldn't expect him to. There are no battles on track as it stands. Frank Tennant's off. Oh, he's just over-rotated it. This tells me the tyres are starting to go, because we've got a lot of cars now just slipping. And what it'll be is that temperature's rising. So it still says the track's only 18 degrees though. I'm not convinced. I think it's going to be warmer than that. the sun's coming up and it's going to be heating up a little bit. So I think the tyres are playing a part in this now. Yeah, Neil, you got that a bit wrong. You just got your wheel on the curb and the sand, and it spun you around. Thing is, Melvin, you know, it's difficult keeping everyone happy, but we've got to bring in a platform where it's fair for everybody. You know, now if a driver's not wearing a headset and they're going to carry on being a reckless driver, well, if they don't wear a headset and they're not going to receive the penalties, they'll just get disqualified because they'll ignore the penalties. So they'll play the price the ultimate way. So, you know, it's horses for courses, really. Let's have a look. Roll Reese has joined us. Reese, that's it. You know what? Sometimes, Reese, your bluntness is absolutely brilliant. It doesn't come through your headphones, it comes through your speakers. And, yeah, I totally agree. What's the problem? Spot on that. No one's thought of that one, have they? That's brilliant, Reese. Cheers for that. Owen, again, absolutely spot on. If they get a penalty, they should know what they're getting it for. You know, a penalty's not going to be dished out for a bit of a giggle, you know, for fits and giggles. It's going to be for a reason. Yeah, that's it. You know, the idea is to record all the decisions and explain them. We don't know. We think what we think happened to Bourne, Mikhail, and I'm not 100% certain. When John Saunders spun before, as he was reversing, there was a movement on his car, and in his mirror was a Lexus. So I thought, oh, Chris Bourne's been hit. Now Chris Bourne carried on, but I think he got hit and it's damaged his car, and he's had to go into the pits. So that's what I think has happened there. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's what's actually happened. So Chris Bourne has lost places. He's not gaining on Mark Rogers either. So I think Chris Bourne is not going to get a podium, and that might be the first time he's not got a podium in the Constructors race. Thing is, Willie, you're making a comment there that actually has a lot more in it than you realise. I'm not worried about getting penalties. Rare and fast enough to run into anyone anyway. You're missing the point with what you just said there. It's not about speed. We've said this time and time again. It's consistency. If you are consistent and you go round at a certain lap time and people start getting penalties, what does that mean to you? You are going to gain places purely because you are being consistent. And 30 seconds on any track is a good number of laps to catch up on. So you may find all of a sudden you're gaining positions on people without really thinking about it. You know, just because you're being consistent and staying out of trouble. Yeah, we don't really do driver of the day for the Constructors. It's more about team of the day. But I do agree. Stefan's, oh, that's well and truly parked. He's trying to get out there and take to the escape road. Mind you, looking at that gate, that's probably a stunning house behind. That's where he probably wanted to go, wasn't it? I want to visit that house. And that's exactly what he was doing. He was visiting the house. Frank Tennant's gone off wide, but I think he was letting a back marker past. That was a Ferrari, so that's Eric Langlois, who's currently in 14th. So Frank didn't have to give that place up. He was unlapping himself there. I think Frank might be taking his time just to get over the hill. The lap times are really, really slow in comparison. So, fastest guy on track at the moment is Lars, followed by Mark. Oh, Chris Bourne has just done a 2:03.9. So he's by far the fastest on track, and he holds the lap record. And we've got 2:04, then a few 2:05s. Mark Christopher's also with the 2:05s, so he's running well. Kenneth Lingham's in the 2:05s. I think this race is going to settle down now. Not that I'm going to say commentator's curse, but I think it is going to settle down a little bit. Terry, there was a villa for sale. Maybe Kenneth's got the wrong one. He's pulled up at the wrong place to have a look. He's got the wrong corner. It did look like he parked up purposefully though, because he fitted perfectly next to that sand barrier, didn't he? The plastic sand barrier. Oh, brilliant. Just want to take this opportunity at this point to thank our sponsors, the PWS team, preciouswashers.co.uk, allowing us to carry on providing this service to you and the community. Big shout out to them for supporting us in the way they are. So big thank you to PWS there. Not doing too bad. 25, 26 on the stream and only 16 likes. Come on, you're better than that. Get that like button clicked, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Now I think I was doing some checks actually on the stats on YouTube, and you know what, we're not doing too bad, I'd prefer to say. There's other people we know have been watching YouTube videos, and I think they'd struggle to compete with us actually. Bearing in mind we are WoW class as a small community, but we're getting bigger. That's right, Willie, you can do that. You can make it a listen-only channel. Not much going on. Chris Bourne's gained a little bit. He was 14 seconds, but he's still not going to make anything up. Just you two guys. I think everyone else is still on track. You're the only two who've retired. So you're the two guys in the pits. I'm just trying to work out if anyone else has quit. Oh, Harrison, Nolan. Oh no, Harrison. Oh, someone's just quit then. Oh no, that was Neil's car. Neil Carr's just quit. I'm trying to think. That could be that actually. We didn't have a full complement today. There was a number of drivers missing. So I think everyone else is still there. It was just you two guys. No, Melvin, you can't argue with the stewards. Thing is, it's one of them where you've just got to accept it and get on. You know, once the race is over, the race is over. As far as we're concerned, your penalty's been given. But what we're trying to encourage, as I said, is that fair racing. So John Saunders has let his partner pass there. You can see John Saunders' bonnet's up a little bit. So Chris is just banging in the laps now. As I said, it'll only happen a few times to a driver, and if they don't get wise to it, they'll eventually lose points off the licence, and then, you know, from that perspective, they'll miss a race. So it's horses for courses, really. Thing is, Manuel, I know you're saying you just take it on the chin. Do you not think, though, from that perspective, it makes it fair across the board? Because no one's got the ability to appeal during the race. You just get the penalty, and then it's done. You know, you just got to say, right, I've made a mistake. The stewards think I'm in the wrong. I just get on with it. Yeah, Peter, I love this track. Absolutely agree with that. The track is fantastic. And how you yesterday did what you did absolutely blows my mind. Because that was absolutely stunning. Craig Holmes is struggling here. I thought he was struggling. He's actually behind another car. So he's behind Andy Goddard. Yeah. Oh, and Goddard's off again. He's decided to visit our good old friend Barry R. Nothing going on track now. No one's catching anybody. We've just got a couple of cars in the pits. So Mark Christer, who pitted early on, is now making good headway. His bonnet's open though, so he's on another contact. Now we did know he hit Harrison, didn't he, over the tops? That may have caused him a bit of a problem. Whew. We've got 5 minutes to go. Frank Tennant's gone off. I think that's a retirement for Frank. It looks like he's give up. There's a board. Yeah, that's a retirement for Frank, I feel. It does take it out. Craig Holmes is going into the pits as well. So that's both Bentleys calling it a day, perhaps. Both Bentleys in at the same time. So that's Fanatec having a bit of a problem. So I'm not running high wing on this track, Willie. Needless to say, my car's quick, but over the mountains, it's a bloody bitch to drive. Yeah, we saw that, Peter. It just seemed to go... I actually said it looks like he's on ice, I think, at one point on the stream. I don't know if anybody heard me say that. He'd just come up the mountain straight. He went round the corner and actually made the comment, I'm sure... I said it looks like he's on ice because his car was all over the place. So obviously he's burnt his tyres and he's just got no traction on the road at all. So how many cars are out? Well, we've got Andreas, we've got Goddard, we've got Tennant. It looks like Craig Holmes is going to call it a day, and we've got Neil Bywater. So that's 5 cars out. So proper pulling people apart this track at the moment. But you know what? The guys at the front are just carrying on. Yeah, I think Melvin, we've got to be careful. It's we're still not decided how we're going to do next season, but I feel to myself we just need it for the GT3 class. It's too much expecting it to be done every race because I can't stream every race, and I know Juan can't necessarily back me up. What we really need is some other volunteers from eSeniors who can do a bit of streaming, who can just control and speak over, you know, like I'm doing now. Make conversation with myself, because let's face it, I'm making conversation with myself, but it's going out to you guys. You can hear me. A lot of you have probably got me on mute, to be fair, and I wouldn't blame you for that, but you know what I'm talking about there. Because I certainly won't be able to commit to... I mean, my problem is when I get back to full work again, I'm usually home much after, you know, the start of the races. So with the exception of the GT race at the weekend, I'm really going to struggle. So we really do need someone who can take over and stream using the default tools. Now I know Jonathan Wood can do it, but he's also very busy when the you know, when we need him to stream. He's got a lot of work on. Back to... Thanks for that, Dimitri. The race is boring. Yeah, I think Melvin, it's still under discussion. And there's another car pulling up, and that is Frank Tennant again. So he's come out of the pits. He's just letting the fast cars go, isn't he? He's not really wanting to get in anybody's way. And there's another car going down. Oof, really caught them at the wrong place there for slowing down, but that's the nature of the beast. One thing, I know what you're saying there, Willie. You know, sometimes, and if you already know this, Willie, I apologise. I don't mean to, you know, to overstep the mark in what I'm saying. What I find in that top section, you can actually do it quite quick. You just need to think about getting the car slowed for the corners, and then for the corners, release the pedals, get the car going on its own steam, and as soon as you got to the apex of the corner and you can have the drive, floor it again. You'll go around the corners really, really quickly. And it's amazing how much time he can make. Oh, and we've got Frank going off again. He's missed his braking point. So at this point, I'm going to jump on board with the leader and watch him do his final lap. No, that's what I just said. It's about not necessarily using your brakes all the time. Believe it or not, I only realised a few months ago that the car seems to steer better when you're not pressing the accelerator or the brake. So sometimes you can go into a corner a lot quicker than you realise. Just dab the brake, turn the nose in, and the car will go round for you. then you can use the pedals to control the car in the corner. I mean, Peter's in the chat, he'll probably say I'm talking complete rubbish, but that's how it works for me. So from my perspective, I get my car set up for the entrance into the corner, so I can take it at maximum speed, but I don't necessarily use the pedals to slow my car down in the corner. I've already got my car ready to go into the corner at the maximum speed, and as I come through the corner, I'm accelerating out of the corner to maximise it. So here, a brake here, I ease off, drop it down again, hard brake to the right, get into this corner, dab the brakes, go round and power on. That's how I take that corner, you know, and it gives you maximum throughput on that corner. Now, Peter probably does it a different way because he's got his car set up in a completely different way. But I'm no expert in car setup, so that method suits me. But you don't have to press the brake into a corner. You can press the brake before the corner and get the car to go around the corner at a quick speed. Come on, guys, the quicker guys amongst you, if I'm talking rubbish, please say so. I don't consider myself a fast driver. You know, there's plenty. You know, Peter, Frank's faster than me. You've got you know, Terry's equally as quick as me. Terry Howard and Terry T. You've also got Dimitri, who's a Group 1 driver. You know, you've got Neil Bywater. Any of the above, really.
Leader has finished race.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dimitri. And there we can see Lars has finished. Pretty good race there. Obviously talking at the end of the race, but we've got Stefan who's coming over in a fantastic 5th place there. We don't do driver of the day. I think it's fair to say Stefan has kept himself out of trouble and had a fantastic race. And Stefan's teamed up with Jonathan Wood. So them guys have had a great haul of points there. And other drivers, you know, the likes of John Saunders, who's teamed up with Chris Bourne, that's really injured their points. So from that perspective, Stefan, even though they're taking a 40-point hit, are probably better as a result of it. So it's certainly been an interesting race. I'm unsure. I'll give you a heads up now. From my perspective, I might be struggling with the GT4 tomorrow, mainly because I've actually got to go into the office. I'm hoping I can leave at 4 and be home in plenty of time. So if I am, I'll be doing the GT4 tomorrow. If not, it may be that Juan does it, but you might get me dulcet tones back. If anyone wants to join the booth, feel free, because I don't think Jeremy will be doing it. I will be by myself again. Just want to say thanks to everyone for joining, and all have a good morning, good day and good evening, depending on where you are. At this point, I will bid you goodbye, and thank you very much.